how to encash leave in this video, and what is the income tax that will be on the leave encashment, what is the leave salary, what is leave encashment calculation, what is the leave encashment formula, and what will be the leave encashment on retirement, and what are the rules relating to leave encashment and leave encashment calculation formula, and all those related things that come under the retirement benefits. First one is, what is the maximum limit for leave encashment? Means the government servant gets a lump sum cash equivalent of leave salary admissible for the number of EL plus HPL at the credit of the employee on the last day of his service, subject to a maximum of 300 days. So, a central government employee can encash his leave, that is the earned leave or the HPL, at the time of retirement up to the overall limit of 300 days at his credit. So, leave encashment is also possible at the time of LTC during the service, and leave encashment is also possible at the time of retirement also. But the condition is that the overall limit of EL encashment is, the maximum limit is 300 days at his credit, and the maximum limit is the EL encashment or HPL encashment put together, it should be 300 days only. And it is calculated on based on the last basic pay plus DA. That means DA component also is included while reckoning the leave encashment. And month means 30 days for the calculation of leave encashment. And these are the important points. And what is the income tax on leave encashment? Means while in service it is taxable, and while on retirement it is exempt under section 1010 AA1 of Income Tax Act. And how to calculate the leave encashment or leaves authorized for the encashment? First of all, we will see. Say suppose the EL balance. Here we have taken 7 different cases regarding the EL calculation part. First is the EL balance. In first case, EL balance is 300 at the credit, EL balance at credit at the time, EL credit at the time of retirement if it is 300, and the authorized EL will be 300, and HPL, if the balance is 0, the authorized balance normally it will be 0, and the total leaves authorized for encashment should be maximum 300. So in this case, EL is 300 and HPL is 0. So total will be authorized balance will be 300 for encashment purpose. Second case, the EL balance is 300 and HPL is 150. So the authorized EL will be 300 only. But as the total should not exceed, HPL plus EL should not exceed 300, the HPL balance will be ignored. That means HPL authorized will be 0, though there is a balance of 150. The total should not exceed 300, so the authorized leave will be 300 only, 300 EL. Now let us see the third case. In the third case, the government servant is having 250 EL balance, so the authorized will be 250. And first we will check with the EL balance, and then we will go, if it is not sufficient, if it is less than 300, then we will see the HPL balance, and we will see that the total is not exceeding 300. Here in this case, EL is 250 and HPL balance is 40 only. So the total is here the authorized balance will be 40, because 250 plus 40 it is 290 only. It is less than 300, then it is okay. And the fourth case is the EL is 250 and HPL is 60. So put together it comes 310. And we have a rule that it should not exceed 300. So 250 as it is, EL will be taken as authorized, and whereas HPL out of 60 only 50 will be taken, because 250 plus 50 becomes 300. 250 plus 60 it becomes 310, and only maximum is 300. So only 50 will be taken as HPL. Okay. And fifth case, there is a 100 EL balance. So I am giving these examples to make you understand this point. EL balance is 100 and HPL balance is 400 at the time of retirement. Then what we will take? First we will take EL balance, because it is full amount, we will get basic plus DA, but HPL means only half of the emoluments, half of the basic pay only you will get, and DA will also be half. So which is beneficial? EL amount is beneficial. So 100 EL will be taken and HPL will be remaining amount, that is 300 minus 100, that is 200 will be taken for HPL. So that it should not exceed 300. So 100 plus 200, it is 300. Last sixth case, it is say suppose the EL balance at the time of retirement is 50 and HPL balance is 500, then 50 EL will be authorized, it will be taken for encashment, and here out of 500 only 250 will be taken for authorization because 50 is already there. EL plus HPL should not exceed 300, so 250 of HPL will be taken and encashment will be taken for 50 EL and 250 HPL, and total together it is 300. Last case, the EL balance is 0, HPL balance is 600. So here EL it is 0, authorized also 0, and 600 is the HPL. So maximum is 300. So 300 HPL can be encashed. Total will be 300 only. Here one point you should understand that you may ask a question whether I can commute the HPL, because in the last 7th case only 0 ELs are there and I am having more than 300, that is 600 ELs I am having, HPLs I am having. Can I commute it and make that 600 into 300 EL and get the full amount? No, it is not possible in this case. That you should understand. So that is why EL you should not spend it at your will and wish. You should retain the EL till the end of the retirement, and the balance should, if the balance is 300 as in the first case, you will get good amount. If it is 0 and HPL is this much, you will get less amount when compared to the first case. And one more point is that here see, sometimes it happens that you may have EL 250 and only 40 will be there HPL, then only total 290 will be also there. You are losing that 10 quota that you are required, that you may have the possibility of encashing if you save that leave at the time of retirement. So now we will come into the leave encashment formula. What is leave encashment formula? Here the cash equivalent to leave salary shall be calculated as follows. First, for EL, pay plus DA admissible on the date of cessation of service. Cessation means ending on the date of retirement by 30 into number of unutilized EL at credit subject to a maximum of 300 days. That much we can encash. So pay plus DA by 30 into number of EL at credit subject to maximum of 300. Okay, then HPL, the HPL leave salary. HPL leave salary means automatically pay plus DA by 2 it will come, and DA admissible on the date of cessation, HPL leave salary plus DA admissible on the date of cessation by 30, and number of HPL at credit subject to a total of EL plus HPL at credit not exceeding 300 days. So HPL, while calculating the HPL, we will go to HPL only when we don't have 300 days of leave. Okay, then only we will go for HPL. Otherwise, only EL encashment up to 300 days can be made. The HPL component will only be calculated when you have less than 300 days in your leave at credit. So HPL will be leave salary by plus DA admissible by 30 into HPL at credit of the total EL plus HPL at credit does not exceed 300 days. So the overall limit for encashment of leave during including the EL and HPL shall not exceed 300 days as per rule 39 of the leave rules. So this is the leave encashment formula. Now we will see what is leave encashment salary. Let us take an example so as to understand how the leave encashment is calculated. For example, in this case, example 1, a central government servant drawing 77,700 pay, DA is at present 31% in the pay matrix of level 10, retired on superannuation on 31/3/2022. His date of birth is being 10/3/1962. He is having 200 ELs and 350 HPL at his credit at the time of his superannuation retirement. calculate his admissible leave encashment. This is the question. Now the leave account means balance earned leaves will be 200 here. As per the question, it is 200. So the balance at credit is 200. Balance of half HPL is 350, and maximum leaves allowed for encashment is only 300. So we will take this 200, and from here 300 minus 200, 100 we can take. So EL authorized for encashment will be this 200 only, and HPL authorized for encashment will be 300 minus 200, it will be 100. So put together it comes to 300, and the total leaves authorized for encashment will be 300, that is 200 EL plus 100 HPL. Like that we should remember in this case. Let us continue this example, and now we will see the leave account. The total leaves authorized for encashment, as we have seen already, is 300, and we will see the leave salary details now. Last basic pay is 77,700 as per the question given. DA is 31%, that is equal to 24,087 rupees. And total emoluments is basic pay plus DA. For leave encashment, total emoluments will include DA also, basic pay plus DA. So total is 1,01,787, and this is used for EL encashment calculation, and half of the emoluments. That means whenever you use HPL, you will be getting the half of the emoluments only, and unlike EL, that is it will be half of that amount, that will be 50,894 will be the half of 1,0787. So that is this by 2 will become 50,894. This will be used for calculating the HPL encashment calculation. So the emoluments for EL will be 1,01,787. Emoluments for HPL, half of the emoluments they call, it will be 50,894. These two things we will take for the further calculation. In the same example, the calculation of EL encashment will be like this. The EL authorized for encashment is 200. So the total emoluments will be basic plus DA, that is 1,01,787, and used for EL encashment calculation. And the formula we have seen already. EL encashment is equal to total emoluments, that is the basic plus DA, by 30 into number of ELs. So it will be total emoluments is here 1,01,787, and by 30 it is there. 30 already we have seen. The number of days in a month will be taken as 30, not 31, and the number of EL that is there is at credit is 200. So this on calculation you will get an amount of 6,78,580 towards the EL encashment alone. Anyhow, we have the HPL encashment also, as we have seen earlier, because the EL plus HPL should be cannot go beyond 300. We have seen here in this case the EL is less than 300, so we can even encash the HPL to the extent of total of EL plus HPL 300. So now we will see that calculation also. The calculation of half pay leaves of encashment. HPL encashment authorized for encashment is 100, we have seen, because already 200 ELs are there. So in the 350, 100 is authorized, and half of the emoluments is already we have seen, it is 50,894. Because here we are calculating HPL, so basic pay plus DA by 2 only you will get. That is already we have seen 50,894 used for HPL encashment calculation, and HPL encashment is equal to, the formula is half of the emoluments by 30 into number of HPL, or like that, like this also you can tell, that is basic pay plus DA by 60 also into number of HPL also you can tell, because half of the emoluments means by basic plus DA by 2, that can be brought forward as a 60 also here, and here it comes basic plus DA instead of half of the emoluments. So the calculation will be half of the emoluments is 50,894 by 30 into 100. So it is 1,69,647 is the HPL encashment, and we have seen already that total encashment will be 200 days of EL encashment plus 100 days of HPL encashment. So total encashment is EL encashment plus HPL encashment, and 200 days of EL encashment is already we have seen, it is 78,580 and HPL encashment is 1,69,647. So this total will be 8,48,227 will be the total leave encashment that is eligible for this central government employee. Okay, so this is how this leave encashment is calculated, and I will give you 7 more examples so that you can understand the previous examples only. I will give again, and I will show you how the calculation is done. See here in the first case 300 plus 0 is there, so 300 plus 0 we will take, and say suppose here in this case example we will take as basic pay as 80,000 and DA as 20,000 for example, and 80,000 plus 20,000 into 300 by 30, it is 10 lakhs, and the HPL will be naturally 0 because total should not exceed 300. In the second case there is the EL is 300, HPL is 150, but admissibility will be 300 EL only, 0 will be the HPL. So the amount will be 80,000 plus 20, the basic plus DA into 300 number of days EL and by 30 into 10, that comes to 10 lakhs, and here HPL will be 0. Third example is 250 EL and 40 HPL. That means 250 plus 40 is the admissibility. 80,000 plus 20,000 basic plus DA into 250 is the number of ELs by 30, it is 8.33 lakhs. HPL calculation will be, as I have told, you can do it as 80 plus 20,000 into 40 days EL, 40 days HPL by 60, I am telling, into is equal to 0.67 lakhs, that is 67,000. You can write here the 50% also, and you can make this 30 also. That means here basic plus BA to be 1 lakh, and half of the emoluments become 50,000. You can write 50,000 here, and 40 by 30 also you can make. Anyhow, the answer will be 67,000 only. Fourth case is 250 plus 60, that is the eligibility, though here it is 250 and 60 it is given, but the admissibility will be 250 plus 50 because it should not exceed 300. Then 80,000 plus 20,000 into 250, that is the EL, this is EL encashment by 30, it is 8.33 lakhs, and HPL will be 50 days, so this into 1 lakh into 50 by 60, that comes to 83,000. So total will be 8.33 plus 0.83 lakhs will be the amount paid as leave encashment at the time of retirement for this fourth case. Fifth case, there is 100 and 400 HPL is there. So we will take EL as 100 and total should be 300, so only 200 will be taken. And here 100 by 30 and 3.3 lakhs. Here 200 is the HPL, so by 60 full amount we are taking, so 3.3 lakhs. Sixth case, it is 50 and 500, 50 plus 250 we will take, 80,000 plus 20,000 plus 50 into 30, 15 by 30, that means 1.67 lakhs, and 80,000 plus 20 into 250 by 60, it is HPL. Here it is 4.17 lakhs. Total will be 4.17 plus 1.67. Total lakhs will be some 5.784 like that. Okay. Seventh point is that here you have 0 and 600 HPL. 0 plus 300 will be taken. Here EL will be 0. And HPL will be 80 plus 20,000 into 300 by 60. It is equal to 5 lakhs. So in this first case, you can see that for 300 ELs, you are getting 10 lakhs, and for 600 HPL, you are getting only 5 lakhs. So how important EL is, you should understand, and you should save the ELs for the retirement. And leave encashment on the death of a government servant, to whom it will be payable, we will see. On the death of the government servant while in service or after retirement or quitting service, but before actual receipt of cash equivalent of leave salary, it will be paid to the family member in the following order of preference. So the first who will be paid on the death will be widow or the eldest surviving widow with reference to the date of marriage or husband. They will be paid first. If such widow or such husband is not available for a government servant, then second case will be paid. Who will be paid? The eldest surviving son or an adopted son will be paid. And third one is the eldest surviving unmarried daughter. That means if first and second are not available, only then comes the third one. Then comes the unmarried daughter will be paid. Fourth one is the eldest widowed daughter will be paid only if first 1, 2, 3 are not available in the family. Fifth is father. If father and mother and all the 5 or 6 are not available, then goes to the married daughter, surviving married daughter. If all the 7 are not available, it goes to the surviving brother below the age of 18 years. If all the 8 are not available, then it goes to the unmarried sister. If all the 9 are unavailable, then it goes to the widowed sister. And if all the 10 are not available, it goes to the eldest preceding son. So the amount is payable to a member only if the member of the preceding category is not available. So it is like that. So this is the sequence order of preference. Okay. Then some FAQs we will see. If a government servant has 200 ELs and 200 HPLs at his credit at the time of retirement, can HPL be commuted so that the total leave encashment be 300 EL instead of 200 plus EL plus 200 HPL and get a full encashment of EL instead of HPL? So the answer is either this way also you can ask, can HPL component be commuted to make up for the shortfall in the EL? The answer is no, there is no such provision for commuting HPL at the time to make up the for the shortfall of the EL at the time of encashment. So that is why ELs are very important. And second FAQ is, what is the EL or HPL encashment allowed if an employee resigns or quits service on his own accord? For example, in a case if he is having EL of 250 and HPL of 150, how the encashment goes? Here, in case when the employee resigns or he quits from his service on his own accord, then the lump sum cash payment will only be to the extent of half of the EL at his credit, subject to a maximum of 150 days only. It is not 300, it will be a maximum of only 150 will be given. And on the date of cessation from the service. So at the time of cessation or at the time of his resignation or quitting the service, if the EL is 250 in this case, if the EL is 300, only maximum he will get only 150 EL and HPL will lapse. That means whatever HPL is having, it will lapse and no amount will be paid. The answer is admissible EL for encashment will be, in this case will be 125. That means half means 250 is having. So by 2 means 125. That EL only will be given. Admissible HPL for encashment will be 0. Because in case of resignation and quitting of service, no HPL can be encashed. So maximum is EL encashment only, that is only up to a maximum of 150 days. So suppose if he has 100 ELs at his credit, only 50 can be encashed at the time of his resignation or quitting the service. So thank you. These are the few FAQs and that whole video about the leave encashment. How do you like the video? Just post your comment in the comment section. For more marks and higher ranking, subscribe to Career Post. Thank you.